welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. Please remember to subscribe and share. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I highly recommend that you do. I offer lots of content there because I really think that in general, victims and survivors need someone to continue to reaffirm for them that they're not crazy, right? That they are navigating a really challenging situation. The intermittent reinforcement that happens from trauma bonding is certainly relevant. And it's unfortunately something that keeps us very tied to the abuser. And then if we go to therapy and the therapist affirms that, as I said in my last YouTube, and they say, you know, if you just did X, Y, and Z, then maybe things would get better. I certainly had that experience with therapists where they would say, Christine, maybe if you didn't run on Saturday morning, instead had coffee with your husband, right? That maybe things would get better. And, you know, that was something that he was trying to diminish, was my love of running, you know. So, you know, maybe if you didn't go to New York City for the day, by the way, with a girlfriend to run a particular race, then, you know, maybe things would be better. So there was an expectation that I would continue to shift. I was shape-shifting. We call it shape-shifting. I was shifting myself to accommodate that person already. And then I had therapists telling me to do the same. Hugely problematic. And so how do we really begin to discern that this relationship is unhealthy? And I always say, listen, once you figure it out, of course we don't tell the abuser we figured it out, but we could certainly create really strict boundaries. And when we do that, the abuser kind of knows and gets angry. And this is when the infidelity will increase. It's already been happening, by the way, totally. But the infidelity will increase, the tracking will increase. But if you know that, if you know that's happening, there's empowerment in that. And so I want you to stick with, if I can see it and I decide to stay, or if I see it and I decide to make plans to leave, there is an empowerment in that. It's different than being continuously subjugated in that relationship, but do not let the providers subjugate you, right? And so if you're a protective parent and you're listening to this and you're waiting for my tidbit on protective parenting, I can tell you over and over again that you become the light on this path towards freedom. You become the person holding the lantern and your child is following behind. And sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but they will begin to understand the unhealthy relationship dynamics and they will see you gaining your agency, your freedom. You decide to maybe start taking yoga when you never could before, or when there wasn't enough time. You place yourself in this elevated position where your children begin to see you differently through a different light. It's vital. It's important to show them the way. And you do that simply by recognizing what's going on, creating boundaries, perhaps trying to escape, which again, escape is elusive and can be, things get worse. We know that. So there's no judgment here. And I hope you all have a great day. And please remember to subscribe. Don't forget about my Coercive Control Professionals training, and of course the Protective Parenting Program running again in March. And I hope to see some of you there. Bye. Hi, everyone.